loves, it's Sam. So I just realized that I didn't actually film an intro for this video this morning. Yeah, I totally have a different lip color on now because I got some new products and I was trying them out. The rest of the stuff is all the same, but it is now a lot later. It's the end of the evening. So I've had my makeup on all day. So this kind of actually is great because you can see exactly what my makeup looks like at the end of the day. It's been on for a full, probably 10 hours now, and I have not touched up other than my lipstick at all. I haven't blotted, I haven't done anything. Today, I'm gonna be doing my everyday spring makeup. This is kind of my more natural, like when I'm not filming, this is like the makeup that I wear if I am just gonna be running errands, taking the kids to school, hanging out on the weekend with the kids, and I know that we're gonna go somewhere and I still wanna have makeup. This is the makeup I wear. If it's something that I'm not gonna like be doing a new look with or trying out new products, or I wanna look like super glam for a video, this is my everyday makeup. I usually wear makeup Monday through Friday, and then sometimes I'll try and like skip makeup on a Saturday or a Sunday if I'm cleaning. So usually I wear makeup at least 5 days a week. Well, I thought that this would be perfect for spring, for those of you who kind of want like a really fresh face, kind of like natural glam makeup. I hope you guys enjoy. Sorry that this is a end of the day intro versus right in the beginning, but at least you got to see what it looks like at the end of the day, minus the lip. This is completely different. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah. Bye. Okie doke, so I currently have a couple of little red marks. I got a little excited with my little pimple tool, and I had like little just whiteheads underneath my skin that I just got rid of, and of course it leaves a little mark. So there's nothing lumpy, it's just all red. This is what I take when I do have any kind of redness. This is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Camouflage. It's the Ultra Wear Height Corrective Corrector from Lancome, and this is green, and I just take literally the tiniest amount on my finger, like super small. This stuff, you don't need much, it goes a long way, and I just kind of tap it in the areas that I have any kind of redness. I just kind of like blend out so that it's not like a blob, you know what I mean? Okay, so now that I look like I have some kind of little froggy disease. Next, I take my Giorgio Armani and my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is the same as always. And someone actually asked me if I put these on like individually or if I mix them on my hand. And I mix them on the back of my hand equal parts. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more of the Giorgio Armani if my skin is like not got any like acne marks or redness. Because the Giorgio Armani, I just really love the way it looks on the skin. But then if I need a little bit more full coverage, then I'll just do equal parts. So I basically am just like mixing it on the back of my hand. Whatever is left on my finger, give it a good old pat. Then I get my SL Miss Glam Beauty Sponge. P.S. She just announced that she is, well, her and her husband are having twins. I'm so excited for her. She's honestly so sweet. I met her in real life. She's been so sweet to me, and I really just think she's lovely, and everything she does is really pretty and pink. And now she's having 2 babies. She did these like cute little baby posts with like a gorgeous little cake. Like, oh my god, she's seriously so cute. So huge shout out to SL Miss Glam. I will leave her channel down below so you guys can go check her out. But this sponge has been my favorite for I don't even know how long now. It's been a long time. It's just so good, and it's 17 bucks. You cannot go wrong. And I just find that that green concealer really helps to just make everything just cover so much easier if I do have like, you know how sometimes your little spots can look real purple or just like really dark? That just really seems to blend everything out really nicely. I've been loving the Tarte Shape Tape. I've been using this now. This is my second tube, so I've been using it for quite a while. I really like it. I mean, I think there's other ones out there that are really great, but honestly, the way this covers, the way it lasts, the way it stays on my oily skin, it's just super smooth. It just looks really good. I love it. So I just blend that out. I use the same exact side that I do with my foundation. I just feel like it blends everything in better that way. And it just brightens up so well. It's nice and smooth, it doesn't get stuck into your fine lines and wrinkles. And then whatever is left, I just kind of go over these areas. Now, moving on to powder, I'm back to my NARS. So I basically just pat this on, and I'm using a Bare Minerals Dual Finish Blush and Contour Brush, and I love this. I've been using this forever. I mean, most of the stuff you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, girl. Use something new. This is not a trying new products though. This is literally what I use every single day I put my makeup on. That gets rid of fine lines. It sets your under eye concealer. It gets rid of pores. It just blurs everything out and smooths it, and it's amazing for oily skin. I highly recommend it. It does not look like powder on the skin at all. It just melts into your face, but like really mattifies, but then also fills the pores. So I love it. So I stick it basically everywhere that I have any kind of texture or pores or fine lines and wrinkles, anywhere that foundation could possibly move into. And I also go up onto my cheeks where I have acne scars from when I was young, and I just fill those in as well. You guys know I love a bright under eye. Honestly, I feel like this just, when I don't wear this, I feel so tired. I feel like I look really tired and not happy, and then as soon as I put this on, it's like, oh, hello, hi. You feel like a happy little flower. And I want to look like a happy little flower. I don't want to look like a sad little dung beetle. A sad little dung beetle with no poo. But do you see the difference? This side just looks lifted and this side looks meh. It just, I don't know what it is, but I can't live without it. It's this Ben Nye Super White Professional Powder. For you guys watching me for a long time, you'll know. You've seen this many times. But for people who are new, then this will be new to you. But this is what I use every day, and I'm using a little Morphe brush. I don't even know if these are available anymore. It's an MB23. It's such a good brush. It's just a little fluffy, I think it's an eyeshadow brush, to be honest. Don't even know what it is, but it works great for this. Basically, the NARS for me, I use to fill in my pores. This is what I use to set my whole face. It adds just a slight bit of a coverage, and it does, people always think like, oh my gosh, you must look like such a powdery mess. Because I'm so oily, if I was dry, this would be too much powder, I think. But because I am so oily, by the time I set this, and I always recommend setting your foundation and powders if you do use a lot of powder, because it melts it into the skin. But by the end of the day, like, you would never know I have powder on because I am so oily. So I can get away with this much powder. You just have to see like what your skin does. If you have really dry skin, you probably don't even need to use that much at all. Like, you might just need a little bit maybe underneath your eyes. So it's always, you have to cater to what your skin type is. And I am very, very oily. I'm not even combination, I'm just straight up grease face. So I can get away with this much powder. As soon as I'm done basically and I set, it's all melted into my skin already. And no one would ever know that I have all these layers of powders. Just keep that in mind. I think a lot of the time people watch and they're like, oh my god, I would never do that. But it's like, well, you might have dry skin, or you might have flaky skin, and the powders would look absolutely terrible on that. So you just have to kind of take into consideration what your skin type is, and then see if that will work for you. Because there's a lot of things that like people with dry skin that I'm like, oh man, that would be amazing. And then I try it and I'm like, oh god, oh my god, this is so bad, you know? This is the NARS the Veil Cheek Palette. I don't know if these are still available because it wasn't limited edition around the holidays, but this is just Laguna from NARS, so you can just get it in the single thing. I like Laguna because it's not too warm. It's warm enough to where it adds something to my face to where I look healthy. And this is a Morphe E3. I love it. It's pretty much amazing. Sigma and Morphe are my favorite brushes for sure. And then Too Faced has a couple of really nice ones as well. Okay, I'm going down the sides here. I've been using the Too Faced Natural Face, and I've been using the Pink Wink, but then I've also been mixing a new blush from Benefit as well. So I just give myself a little smile here. And this is quite pigmented, so you don't need very much if you're like my coloring. This is the Benefit Gold Rush. It does come with a layer of like sparkly shimmery gold, but as soon as you use it, it's gone. So it's gone now. But it's kind of just like a really pretty, kind of soft peachy nude shade, and I just kind of put it over the top. It has a tiny bit of a golden sheen to it. There's a little bit of a fleck of shimmer in there, and so that's why I use it, because it just adds just a tiny little bit of a kind of sheen to the cheek. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just a little bit of a glow. Then what I do is I go in with my, it doesn't matter, lately I've been using this one. I also really like this one if you want a cheaper option. This one is the Model Zone One Night Stand. This one is the Too Faced Hangover. I'm just going to show you what I have been using lately. So what I do is I go in now and I spray. And I let that sit. And while I let that sit to dry, I do my lips. It sets all the powders in so that when you go to put in your highlight, it just gets a little bit extra. And then when you set it at the very end, you've had like 2 setting sprays. So it really melts everything in. It just pops your highlight. Everything goes on really smooth and it's just really fabulous. This is the Buxom Hush Hush. It's called the Plump Line Lip Liner. It's funny because I got this and then I was watching Lisa Prideaux on Instagram, and her lips, first of all, oh my goodness, her lips are so beautiful. But she had this gorgeous lip combo on and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? She's like, oh, it's this Hush Hush. And I was like, oh my God, I just bought this. How exciting. I was using it already. But then she also used a different gloss that I'm going to show you today that ever since I've been using, I'm like, actually, I need to sharpen this. Ever since I saw it on her Instagram, I was like, yes, yes, I need that in my life. She is lip goals for me. I love her lips. I love her whole face, actually. And then I switch back and forth between, oh, where'd it go? These 2 products. If I want it to be extra light, then I'll use this. This is the Buxom Vava Plump Russian To You. This was another product that I went out and bought because of Mallory 1712. She was wearing it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that. And then so I went and bought it, and then that's when I bought the Hush Hush as well. So this one is really quite thick and very opaque. So if I want it to be really light, I'll wear this one. Lately, I've been using this one just for like a slightly like more natural lip color. It's not natural, but it's not quite as like peachy nude. This is just MAC Plain Koi, and because it's not quite as opaque as the other one, it's still light. It's just a more lightweight product. The other one is quite thick. It's like, it's pretty intense. Then what I do is I take this, and this is what Lisa had recommended. This is the Pixie and Chloe Morello collaboration. And it's funny because I already had this sitting in PR and I hadn't even like, I looked at it, but I hadn't opened it out of the box, and then I saw her using it and I was like, oh my God, why haven't I opened that yet? And so I opened it, and this is absolutely gorgeous. And the reason I hadn't opened it is because it kind of looks a little bit like golden brown in the packaging, and I was like, I'm not gonna like that. But you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, I've found out. Because when you put it on, it is not brown at all. It's actually quite light and almost a little sheer, but then it has these gorgeous little sparkles. And it just like is such a lightweight gloss. It's not sticky at all. It almost feels like an oil, like a lip oil. It's called Lip Icing, and the shade is Cake. But it's just so pretty on. And I've gotten 2 people, whenever I've worn this lip combo, compliment me on my lips. So that right there is winning. This I love. This is the Ferocious Brow Pencil. I have the color light brown. These are so good, guys. They are really thin and small little pencils. They do have a little spoolie on one side, which is amazing. I love the color. I think the shade is really good, but you can see like the tiny little tip is so tiny. Look at that sweet little tip. So I've just been, actually I need to bring my mirror closer for this because I'm not a spring chicken anymore, okay? I fill in with this. I have like a little step that I do. Does anyone else feel like they can't talk when they're doing their brows? Like, it takes serious concentration, no movement. It is like serious business. Okay, so I kind of just fill in the whole thing, and my eyebrows are microbladed when I have no makeup on. You can still see them. They've kind of faded out to be more of like a redhead eyebrow now, which actually works when I have no makeup on because now my hair is that kind of rosy pink. So they actually match really well. Once I have foundation, like if I'm not super careful around it, like it covers right up. So I do have to like fill them in all the time now. Okay, so now that my eyebrows are all filled in, you can still see that, like you can see where it kind of does not connect, like where I have no eyebrows versus where I have my own brows. So then I take the Ardell Stroke a Brow Feathering Pen in dark brown. This is a really tiny, fine little tip. And I basically just take tiny little strokes. Just in the front there to make it look like I have actual hairs there. Then I take the Koki Cosmetics Brow Mascara Tinted Eyebrow Gel. I love this stuff. It adds little blonde highlights to my eyebrows, so it just makes it look like they're a little bit more like natural, and like there's little highlights in there, so it lightens it up just a little bit. It keeps the brow hairs in place because my eyebrows can be a little like, I want to say the word ornery. Now we go back to highlight, now that everything is set in. So I take this little brush, this is from Morphe, it's E27, and I take the Too Faced Natural Face Palette first. I do a little layer situation. I take this color right here, which is called Starlight. It is so pretty. It's like this really gorgeous, pinky, kind of like opalescent, just absolute gorgeousness. And because I sprayed already, it kind of just like melts into the skin. There's no powders for it to compete with. Like, look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Then I take just a tiny little bit up here, and then a tiny little bit up here, like literally the tiniest amount. Same on my nose, because it is a little bit purple, so you have to be careful with it. Then I go in with my Maybelline Master Holographic by Face Studio in 050. This is the best highlighter. It's a drugstore. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Same brush. And I'm just going to pop that on top, and it kind of takes a little bit of that pinky kind of purpleness away, but it adds these gorgeous little sparkles, and you really can't see the sparkles. It just looks like a regular highlight on your face, but it beams it until you go outside, and that's when the sparkles come to life. When you get out in the sun, you have these tiny little fine sparkles all over wherever you've put it, and it just makes you look like you are some kind of glittering fairy goddess, and that is what I want to be in my life. So I kind of just put it up here, and you don't need much, like it's pretty intense, so I just like to add just a little bit of a ooh, so when you go outside you're just a little sparkly and pretty. It's so beautiful. I put a little bit here, and then a little bit on my nose. You do have to brush this off because they are sparkles a little bit, so sometimes you can get a little chunky, and then you'll have like little random glitters kind of floating all over the place. So just what I do after that is get a little brush. This is the Luxie 522, and I just kind of brush off any extra. It's usually on my nose that I get it, but sometimes on the forehead, and then it drops. Oh, I just got that in my lip gloss, darn it. Then I take a brush from Sigma. This is the E55 eye shading brush, and I go back into that same highlighter, and that's what I use underneath my brows. And like I said, it adds a nice little highlight, but when you get outside it's all sparkly and you just look so like, almost like you're dewy, but like you're sweating sparkles. And to me, that is what I want to be. If I'm gonna sweat, I want to sweat sparkles on my eyebrows. But that sounds like it's gross. It's not. It's like really pretty when you go outside. I've gotten so many compliments, like it's just such a pretty sparkle, and I just absolutely love it. Okay, so lately I've been taking the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, and I've just been going into this color here called Au Naturel, and I've just been putting that in my crease. This is my like everyday makeup that when I'm not filming and I'm not trying to look all like smoky eyed and glam, this is my everyday makeup look. So it's kind of a little bit more like natural for a beauty guru. I mean, I feel like when people are like natural, like I don't wear any makeup, that's natural. Like let's be real here. Natural for a beauty guru or whatever we're even called nowadays, I don't even know. You know, this is my natural makeup look. I'm always gonna have a full face of foundation and blush and highlight and stuff because that's just what makes me feel happy. But when it comes to the eyes, like when I want to be like super duper glam, then I'll go with like really smoky eye or colors. you know, reds and kind of coppery shades. But when I just want to be like natural, this is what I do. Sorry, so that was a M433. Then I take MAC Fix Plus and I spray a Sigma E58 cream color brush, and I dip it back into that Au Naturel. And the reason I do this is because I have a stupid eye, and I don't know like what the crap is wrong with it, but if I don't wet my shadows first, there's a higher chance that I will have a watery eye all day, and I don't like it. So luckily this palette and the Model's Own palette doesn't bother me, but I just always wet my brush because I'm so paranoid that it will. And it's only my left eye. It's just a mangled eye. I don't know what's wrong with it, but my nanny has the same thing, so it must be genetic. But what can you do? That's just life. So this is the highlight, and then I just take my finger and I just pop that right on the lids. And when it melts into the skin, when you spray with your setting spray, it's like so sparkly and so beautiful. It's like natural glam. And it's perfect for spring, because I feel like in spring, like, you can get away with these kind of like softer looks. You don't have to wear as much makeup, I feel like. You can have stuff a little bit more glowy and just a little bit more like... I get a tiny little brush from Coastal Scents. I don't know what it's called, but it's just a tiny little guy. And I go into my Model's Own palette. This is the Barely There too. It's super affordable. And I just go into this middle color right here with a wet brush, and I just pop that right into my inner corner, and that just adds a little bit of brightness, kind of like opens up the eye just a little bit more alive. Then I spray again, because I like to do my mascara after, because that way I don't have any chances of getting my mascara wet and then it getting all over my face. So now I spray again with my Too Faced. And I really make sure that I focus on those places where I put the highlight, the sparkles, like my eyes and my cheeks. I mean, I spray the whole face, obviously, but I just want to make sure that it really gets where all the powders were, so that they're all melted into the skin and nothing's flaky on top. And then I give it a good waft. Okay, then I curl my lashes. This is the Tweezerman, and it's rose gold, and it's so cute. Then I take a little bit of the Cover FX Perfect Pencil in the color N Light. I just put that on my waterline. And that also kind of like brightens your eye up a little bit as well. I take my Lancome Seals Booster XL. I mean, I feel like if you guys have been watching me, most of this is like pretty darn similar. I use what works and know that I like it. And especially with my eye now, I have been having a harder time like trying new products as far as eyeshadows go, just because it will water for days after I've used the product, and it's just super duper annoying. I get so frustrated because then it's like ruining it. It hurts. Like, it gets so sore from watering that like the salt water from the tears starts to like make a little rash underneath my eye, and it just like, it's so sore that I'm like, you know, this is not worth it. Like, I'll try it out if I'm doing a specific video, but like everyday basis, I just don't like to switch it up anymore. Like, I'll try out new highlights, I can switch out my lip products, but as far as the eye products go, like, I just have to be so careful nowadays that I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear the same old stuff every day. Like, I remember a period of time, and I don't know, I think my nanny doesn't do it anymore, but like, she actually went with just eye makeup on one eye for quite a long time. She would just continue to do her eye makeup on the one eye that didn't water, but then on the other eye she just had to leave it. And like, I don't want to have to get to that point where like I have to do that because it just waters no matter what I do. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be careful now, because I still got a lot of years left, hopefully. I must have slept funny because I feel like my lashes are all mangled on this side today. Okay guys, and there's the finished look. So I don't have to spray again because I've just done my mascara, and I've already sprayed twice on my face. So everything is now melted in. That highlight is really nice and dewy and beaming, There's no little sparkles of chunks flying around on my face. It's all just like in the skin. And that's why I like setting sprays so much, is because if you are going to be using a lot of powders, if you are going to be using highlighters or like sparkles, it really does help to just kind of like get them into the skin to where everything is just really seamless on your face. There's a look. It's kind of like a nice spring, very natural, natural for me at least. For me, this is like my quick makeup that I wear if I'm not filming, but I'm still wearing my makeup. It just makes me feel put together, but it's kind of natural. It's nice for spring. Like I said, it's very glowy. You have like these pretty little shimmers when you go out in the sun. The skin just looks really just youthful and glowy and very dewy, but it's nice and matte like where I need it. So, and it doesn't feel dewy, it just looks dewy, like in the little spots where I put the highlight. So that is my kind of spring everyday makeup. I hope you guys enjoy. I just figured that I would go ahead and show you what like I wear on a daily basis if I'm not trying out new products, because this is like my go-to holy grail makeup routine that I have been currently loving. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click that little notification bell on the side over there down below. You see it, it's a little bell. That way you get notified when I upload. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And then of course, everything that I used down here below will be linked so that if you see something you love, you can easily click that link and shop it. So thank you guys so much for watching. It snowed last night. I'm so sad. I thought spring was here, but it's not. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your spring, because I am not. It's cold and it snowed and it just has been horribly windy and it's just not cool. But I'm just holding on for those warm days. So hopefully you guys are already enjoying your spring and getting to wear little flowy dresses, and it's so fabulous. I'm over here in a sweater. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah. Bye.